This channel and its videos are intended for general audience. George crosses the line. One day, George was heading towards the level crossing. He heard an engine whistle as he reached the gates. Luckily, the gate was still open as George trundled through. He was halfway across when the gate started to shut. Then there was trouble. The gates couldn't close as one hit against him and held him in place from moving. George blew his whistle to warn the oncoming train. It was Connor, and he heard the whistle and slowed down. He was glad he had slowed, or he would have caused a major accident. The guard fixed the gates, and George trundled onwards, feeling happy he had caused an engine trouble. Connor wasn't happy at all. That silly steamroller, making me late, he puffed. Duck then popped up. Hello, Connor. Why are the gates closing the line? He asked. Some daredevil steamroller had jammed the gates as I was heading to the station. He has made me more late than I already am, Connor said. Duck pondered. Was the steamroller grumpy and had a green coat of paint? He asked. Yes, it was, Connor steamed. That's George. He has a hatred for railways and has caused us engine many years of trouble. From ramming into wagons on the Scarlowy Railway to derailing Thomas from paving over the railway line. He isn't one to be messed with, and he will do anything he can to sabotage our work. So keep clear of him, and just tell Sir Tom Hat he will put George in his place, for a while, that is. Thank you for the warning, Duck, said Connor. Remember, keep your eyes open for that steamroller, yelled Duck, and Connor puffed away. Later, Connor was at Vickerstown. Sir Topham Hatt was on the platform. Connor, you were 30 minutes late. What was the hold-up? He asked. Connor told him everything about George. I see. Sounds like he's causing trouble again. I'll speak with him at once. Also, I will let you off with a warning this time, Connor. But don't be late next time. And Sir Topham Hatt walked to his car. The next morning, George was on his way to the roadworks in Maithwaite. He had to cross the crossing again, and thought of ramming through the gates, despite Sir Topham Hatt's stern words. But just as he busted through the gates, Percy was coming with a goods train. George moved just in time. Percy was cross. Stupid steamroller, he called. George rode across the other two lines and went to the roadworks. Later, Connor was puffing along the main line with his passengers. The sun was shining and he was having a lovely time. I hope Sir Topham Hatt has talked some sense into George. Connor was heading towards the level crossing. He didn't slow down and thought it was clear, but it wasn't. George had burst a piston and was stranded on the main line. Connor's driver checked the passengers, and luckily no one was hurt. Sir Topham had arrived and wasn't too happy. George, I have warned you about going through the level crossing, and as your punishment, you'll be heading up to the yard and be turned into a sawmill. If you can't be really useful after that, then there is no hope for you, and you will be sent to the scrap yards. Do you understand? He said sternly. Connor was worried. And as for you, Connor, I will personally pay for your front end to be repaired, and this will serve as a lesson to you about the dangers of being safe at level crossings." Connor couldn't have agreed more. "See what happens when you mess with us engines, George," said Doug, and they